Hey everyone, Frank here. This is just a thank you video going out to those of you that helped me tweak my audio settings. I thought I would run through them again to show you what your input has helped me to do. Um, it's probably going to be more subtle than in your face, um, but yeah, the different audio sources have certainly come a long way. So I'll go through them and kind of give my insights just in case anyone else stumbles across this video and is wondering, hey, what do I do to implement an equalizer in OBS to make my voice not sound like total trash when it's coming through a webcam? So this is the webcam's microphone and it sounds all right.
And now I've switched to the headset microphone, and you'll notice that my voice has quite a different feel to it. And that's because this Jabra 2400 microphone has a very limited mic pickup range that I discovered looking online. Its pickup range or its frequency sensitivity is between 100 hertz and 8,000 hertz, and then it drops off just off a shelf there. And that kind of limits that gives you basically half of the EQ to play with. So I had to tweak the settings to kind of reduce some of the lower end and then bring up as much of the mid and high as I could to compensate. It doesn't sound perfect, but it sounds much better than what I started with.
And then this is the ATR2100X standalone microphone. And I've got it to the point where I feel like it sounds pretty natural given the room that I'm in. Um, it's not, I would say it's not perfect, but then I would probably have to line the room with noise canceling panels in order to make it, w sound 100% at least from what I hear, but I think it sounds pretty good, and I think I've dialed it in really well. And now I'm gonna move the microphone close for my last, comparison here. Okay, and now that I've moved the microphone closer, you'll notice that it has a bit more of a broadcast sound now that I'm closer to it. And I've kind of tweaked an audio profile just for when I have the microphone this close so that my voice doesn't sound, overly what's the term, broadcasty or radio-ish. So I think all of these profiles actually sound pretty good. Um, and I just want to thank everybody who listened to my voice and me reading those poems and helped me figure out how to actually set these things. And now I will say, if you're a user of OBS and you want to tweak your voice, tweak your equalizer settings, perhaps your webcam microphone sounds like garbage, perhaps you have a headset microphone with a limited range. The first thing you want to do is look up the specs for your microphone and see if there's an actual visual indication of the frequency range, because if they show you that sine curve, you kind of know where the peaks and valleys are, and you see the areas that you might need to accentuate. But beyond that, I would definitely suggest downloading the free Reaper plugins. There's a number of good ones there, but chief among them, there's an equalizer, and by implementing a low pass filter on the lows, implementing a high pass filter on the highs to filter out some of the extraneous noise, and then kind of tweaking the bass and the mid range for your own vocals, you can make your microphone sound a lot better. And one of the things I learned about my voice is I have a very nasally twinge around 1100 the 1100 hertz range. So I actually set up profiles in this equalizer to focus in on 1100 hertz at about a half an octave wide to reduce that so I don't sound quite as nasally. And the other thing I've done is around 5500 to 6000 hertz. I have my S's, they sound kind of harsh and sharp. And if you reduce the audio in this range, at least for me, what I saw in the waveform, if I reduce the audio in that range, my S's sound a lot less harsh. Um, and you can do that with an equalizer, especially one such as the Reaper plugin that lets you not just pinpoint spots you want to either cut down or increase, but to focus in on a particular frequency range or expand that range to do a more blanket adjustment. And I think those tools are just amazing. And I see now why so many people who are on YouTube, there are a lot of people who sound superb And it's because they have very, very expensive recording equipment. And there are people who sound, pretty good, almost as good. And it's because they've, gone to the trouble of tweaking their settings. And I know mine aren't perfect, and I haven't spent a ton of money on this equipment either. And in that regard, I think things sound pretty good. So, again, I just want to extend a thank you to all the people who helped me tweak these settings. I highly recommend that, if you're going to buy an audio product or a webcam product, certainly buy the best that you can afford, but realize that when you get it, there are still tweaks you can do, especially if you're using a program like OBS, Streamlabs OBS, to really bring out the best aspects of that piece of hardware that you're getting. So, till next time, people. See ya.